Here we go. We've got a live seller call. This was a referral from Facebook. Somebody reached out to me on a Facebook message and they knew that I get into creative financing, and so they thought it would be a good idea to send that lead to me. And so I'm going to go ahead and get you guys on the call with me. Speakerphone right here. Um, I'm sorry, I multitask like crazy. So let me see if this works. Okay. If you guys have any questions about talking to sellers or agents, um, drop it in the comments in the chat and I can see it and I'll respond to you. All right, here we go. This is in Western North Carolina. Let me tell my kids to be quiet real quick. They be talking too much. All right.
Hello.
Hey, Kelly, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm well. There was no way you were going to hear me at that soccer field.
No worries. No worries.
um, Want to obviously touch bases with you and see if there's any progress that you and your husband have made as far as thinking of numbers and obviously what that can look like for us. Um, but I should probably ask if you had a good time off first. That's probably what I
Yeah,
should
we
ask.
did. Yeah, we did. We had a good weekend. We got the perfect moment of weather there before it got hot again, so it was
Oh,
good.
nice. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah, it was good. Good, for
Uh,
sure.
have you guys been able to talk at all while you were away?
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought we were waiting to hear something from you in terms of numbers, so we didn't really, I don't know, maybe we talked about the wrong thing, but, so, yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Nothing
let me ask
happened.
you this then, Kelly. What what would be ideal for you guys? Like, what kind of, I mean, if there was a purchase price, if there was cash, a certain number for cash that you guys wanted, like, let's just start there. If we can start with where you guys need to be, then I can see if I can make that work, rather than me throwing out numbers that are, all honesty, could be like way too low. Um, I don't want to do that. Sometimes it's offensive. So,
Sure. No, I get it. Yeah, so we talked to one realtor,
mhm,
um, I don't know, a few weeks ago.
okay,
And he did he just came up with a number for us, and his
sure,
suggestion if we were going to sell it was 420.
okay, 420.
Um,
Okay.
so, I mean, that seemed reasonable to us, I guess.
Okay.
In any direction.
Right.
And I
So
mean,
right now, all I'm doing is active listening. I'm not going to
in
argue with
terms
it. I'm
of,
not going to fight back and forth. I just want to hear what she has to say first.
I don't know. I'm not sure what seems ideal in terms of the rest of it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't want it to drag out forever. That's
Right.
not a number, but
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's start there then. What I mean, that's a good point cuz I don't want it to drag on forever either.
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
What is, I mean, if I said something like 10 years, does that sound crazy?
I think I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe less than 10 would be ideal.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
looking at John while I'm talking to you to see if he's nodding or.
Hey, John. And you can see, I mean, Kelly, it's the same thing when we talked last time. I I'm easy to work with, and then at the end of it, if it doesn't work for us, it just doesn't. And I'm
Yeah,
not going to
sure.
try to force something to work. It's, a waste of both of our times if we try to force something to work. So, um, I'm okay with less than 10 years. Um, if I said something closer to 5, would that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's probably more in the range. Um, because eventually, yeah. I mean, I guess from our perspective, like I said last time, at some point we're looking to do something.
Yep.
But not yet. So I don't
Yep.
want to wait forever. You know what I mean? To figure
Right.
out what that
You
is,
were
I
saying
guess.
that about your parents' house, right? Was that it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
Okay.
in-laws. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, okay. So and I'm just writing this down and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to you when we're done. And then
Okay.
I don't want to make a decision right now. I just want to get an idea kind of where you guys are. And then let's
Yeah. Sure.
look at it. You guys talk about it and then we can figure this out, later this week if it's something that we want to move forward with. I'm in no rush at all. And who knows,
Sure.
it might take a day and then you might think, you know what, 420 isn't enough. We actually want more, and that's fine. But this just gives us kind of a starting point for the numbers.
Yeah. Sure.
And so right now I have written down 420 ish purchase price. Around 5 years is a good starting point. Is if there was an option for you guys to get cash at closing, is there a number that you guys are looking at? Like, would it help if I don't know if I gave you 20,000 at closing?
I mean, we wouldn't say no.
Of course not. She's like, sure. What else are you gonna give me?
No, I mean, I mean, yeah, like that. I mean, sure. I mean, any cash in hand is always attractive, I'd say.
Okay.
But yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it's important on my end to show that I've got skin in the game.
Sure.
For you guys to see that like I'm invested into the deal. So
Yeah.
I always offer cash at closing just to make sure the other party knows that I'm serious.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
okay, I'm just gonna write that down again just as a starting point, and we can see kind of how this evolves. Um,
Yep.
and then as far as like overhead and expenses, including mortgage and everything, um, I mean, ballpark, where do you think it needs to be monthly? And that's even like if you guys, if you want to make a couple $100 as well per month, like what number do we have to be around?
So. Hold on, I'm trying to.
So this is what
I
I
used to
do.
know this number a lot faster, but I don't. I'm trying to recreate
No
it in my head a
worries.
little
No
bit.
worries.
So, I mean,
I
I
like to
think.
do this to get them thinking because they don't actually, most sellers don't actually
So
know
when
what they
we're,
want.
I mean, well, so this is just a procedural question.
Yeah.
How does it work? Like the overhead and expenses, like if, I mean, like I understand we still pay the mortgage, and
Mm.
what else? What else do we? How does it work other than that? Like, what else stays in our? Do you understand what I'm asking? I'm not even completing a sentence. I'm sorry.
That
It's like
sounds like
almost
my
like
wife.
my
Don't.
bedtime, at 8 p.m.
I've got a few years. My wife does this too. I've got some years of experience. Let me try. Let me try and interpret. um, so when I'm asking, what would cover your overhead? What I'm thinking of is your PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, like your monthly
Yep.
mortgage payment.
Yep.
I'm also thinking the utilities that it takes to cover it monthly, right?
Okay.
So whatever that is, if there's any, if there's any additional solar or whatever else there might be, what are like the monthly operating expenses for that to run, plus whatever else you guys think is fair for you to receive per month. So let's say total overhead is I don't know the number, so I'm gonna just throw something out there, arbitrary numbers, $1,000, and you're
Right.
thinking, okay, this would make sense if we also got $300 a month. Then we would be right in that, $1,300 to $1,500 range. So, and again, I'm not holding you to the numbers. It's just a starting point for our conversation.
So, hold on, I'm thinking of our
And I'm running all the
expenses.
numbers low because I'm price anchoring. So that's what that's called. Even like the 10 years. I said, would it be crazy if I said 10 years? Because I don't really need 10 years. But if I got it, that'd be dope. The 20,000 at closing, I went kind of high, but it's still 5% down. So Not a big deal.
Maybe like probably around, it would be around 2,000 probably.
Okay, we'll just call it that.
Ish.
That's fine.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of everything I pay for every month, which should be really at the top of my head, but you know, it happens.
Yep.
It takes care of itself a lot of the time. So.
Yep. Yeah, and what I would do, obviously, when if the talks progress, we would look at these numbers. Once we sign paperwork, then I would ask for the financials so that I can verify the numbers. Or if you want to give those ahead of time, I mean that's fine, but I usually do it after I sign, just so we know that both parties are serious, um, and then we can verify the numbers then. So this doesn't have to be exact. It's just
Yeah.
kind of ballpark so that I can look at it and see if it even makes sense for me.
Yep.
And so right now, the way that we've written it out, we would say the total purchase price is 420,000, and we would call it around a 5-year term. You guys would get roughly 20,000 at closing, and the monthly payment would be around 2,000. Um, if when my wife gets home and I talked with her, if we were to say, you know, this is going to be a good deal for us, we think we can do this. If we were to sign paperwork and send it to you like tomorrow morning, we're not going to, but just
Right.
if we were, would you guys actually be ready to move forward, or would you guys need more time to think about it?
I just, for me, and I don't know about John, I just want to make sure of those expenses I just told you. I want to make sure I got that number right. That's the
Sure.
one thing really in my head. And I mean, we would obviously just need a minute to talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah,
to
of
make sure.
course.
I'll say for a readiness point, I kind of said before, I don't have a strong attachment to like, ooh, I don't know if I want to sell it. Like that
Right.
part we already know. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, the one thing I will say, I will throw this out. My best friend lives in LA, and she's supposed to come visit at the cabin for a weekend in December,
Okay.
which I already have blocked. So that is also important to me. If I
Yeah,
can,
of course.
if my best friend and I can go for our weekend.
Yeah. Your best friend cannot come. No best friend. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. Don't worry about that. That's fine. And we can figure out. Obviously, there's going to be things like future bookings. I don't know if you have anything that's pending right now that's already booked. That would
Yeah,
fall.
we have a ton of stuff on the calendar.
Yep.
We're summer and fall through December is our high season, and then
I figured. Yep.
I actually have a whole month next summer booked. The whole month of August is booked.
Got it. Okay.
For one person, so.
Yeah, we can figure that out. If our conversation progresses, there's a million ways we can cut it. So I'm not too concerned there. Yeah, I think let's do this then. I'll text this over to you what we just talked about. And then I don't know what seems fair. 2 days, 3 days, next week, like.
Yeah, I think a couple of days is fine. John,
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll go ahead and send this over then, and just kind of see how you guys feel about it. I'm going to talk with my wife when she gets home, obviously, and see where we are. And then, yeah, let's link up on a call in a few days. You text me when you think is a good time, and then we can see if we can figure this out.
Cool. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelly. Great meeting you, John. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thanks. Take care.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Ready?
Boom. That's how you do it.